Hello YouTube, my name's Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, playing a bit of Team Deathmatch. Here using the EM1. You see I picked the MP11 right there. I'm like, oh no, it's EM1 time. I'm going to run around with my laser, because it's a whole lot of fun to play with this gun. It really is. The EM1's one of my favorite weapons in Advanced Warfare. Admittedly, it's very weak. Even if you get a pretty good variant of the weapon, it's still a rather weak, I guess technically it's like a light machine gun, but still, it's a fun weapon to use. It's a directed energy laser weapon. You basically can just hip fire with it all the time, which is awesome. I think that's very fun to play with the gun that way. It's basically used as like a hip fire only weapon. When you watch any gameplay of mine using the EM1, very rarely will I actually be aiming down sight with it, just because it's not as fun. And if you can actually get a cool variant of the gun, I believe the variants of the EM1 actually change around the color of the laser that comes out. Like I've seen the gold one, the red one, the blue one, I think there's a green one, I know there's a purple one. It was really cool. You can change around that based upon what variant of the EM1 you're using. So if you get a pretty cool variant of the gun, I definitely recommend trying it out. Admittedly, the EM1 itself is a rather weak, shall we call it a heavy weapon, a laser weapon. It's pretty weak by default, but if you can get yourself a pretty cool variant of it, at that point it actually becomes a lot better of a gun and a bit more viable. And again, it's all about fun. It's a very, very fun gun to use. Today I want to talk about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, specifically for players who are playing the game on the Xbox 360 as well as the PlayStation 3, because you guys are getting shafted, and you guys are getting shafted hard. So you guys remember that system hack update? Do you guys remember the system hack update that people on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC got? Remember that? We got that back in December 18th. Well, that still hasn't actually come out yet for people that have the Xbox 360 and have the PlayStation 3. The update has still not yet happened. This has actually made a lot of people pretty angry. A lot of people are starting to take to Twitter. Like, we look at this picture here of Twitter. Michael Condrey puts out on Twitter on January 6th, who got the best loot from their Advanced Warfare Supply Drop Daily Challenge today? Here's what I got. And then someone replies by the name of Kyle Miller, who says, not me, because Sledgehammer ain't good enough to fix the game on the Xbox 360. And to that, Mr. Michael Condrey replies, that sits with at High Moon Studios. High Moon Studios. You guys may know them. They're a rather small developer, and basically what they've been tasked to do is port the game over from the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 to the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So basically, Sledgehammer Games, they made the game, and then they basically sent the game over to High Moon, who are then going to port the game over to make it so it can run on the 360 and the PlayStation 3. And because of that, they're also in charge of handling all of the updates. The reason that these updates are so late, so tardy compared to what we're getting on next gen is because of High Moon Studios. So you may think, I'm going to go tweet at High Moon Studios, I'm going to let them know how angry I am. Well, unfortunately, that's not actually going to do anything, because High Moon Studios doesn't pay attention to their Twitter. They don't pay attention to any of that. In fact, if you go over to the High Moon Studios Twitter, you'll realize that they haven't even put out a tweet since April of 2013. So High Moon Studios not really doing a whole lot. They're like this faceless group of people who are just so responsible for everything that's happening on the Xbox 360 and happening on the PlayStation 3. In terms of the updates of the game, it is super frustrating that something like that is going to happen. It's been 22 days. I've actually did the math. It's been 22 days. If you count today and you count the day that the system hack update came out on next gen, it's been 22 days since that has happened, and people on the 360 and people on the PlayStation 3 still have not been able to experience the game after that update. They're still dealing with those super freaking annoying system hacks. They're still dealing with everything else that came with that update, and that's really crappy that something like that would end up happening. What's actually interesting was they actually did update the game. They actually did put out a bit of an update for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare yesterday on January 7th, and this is what the update was. Connectivity improvements to content management for purchases made in the in-game store. That's really all it said. It was basically just like a normal maintenance kind of update. Like, we're like, oh, we're getting an update today. It's going to finally be the big update. No, it wasn't. But if you do look back up there at the top, it says, we appreciate our community of fans across all platforms equally. Bullshit. And we're actively working to make the experience the best it can be for the fans everywhere. Our game update development process is to submit and verify changes on current gen system first, and then apply those changes to our prior generation as quickly as possible. Bullshit. Quickly as possible. Yeah, that's really going really well for it. It's been 22 days. It's been 22 days for you to get rid of an X on a system hack. But yeah, man, I just gotta say, man, I want to make this video kind of letting you guys know that is why these updates are so few and far between. That is why it's taking forever if you're using an Xbox 360 or if you're using a PlayStation 3. The reason is High Moon Studios, the people that Sledgehammer Games hired to port this stuff over. I gotta say though, Sledgehammer is kind of making a bit of a sneaky move. They're basically trying to put all the blame on High Moon Studios, where at the exact same time, you look at what Infinity Ward did just last year with Call of Duty Ghosts, and that game, keep in mind, was out on the 360, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC, just like Advanced Warfare was, but Infinity Ward ran everything, so every single update went out on all platforms at the exact same time. That's the one good thing I think I could really say about Call of Duty Ghosts, was the fact that the updates came out at the exact same time, because Infinity Ward ran everything. They did not have some random studio like High Moon Studios taking care of a game where millions of people are playing on it and just being so tardy with all the updates and all the things that are happening with the game. So that part of that is still on Sledgehammer, but the biggest fault goes to High Moon Studios for these updates taking a very, very long time to actually go through. Well, that is today's video. I want to make a quick little one for you guys today. That is why you guys have not been getting your updates. That is why everything has been so tardy. It's because of High Moon Studios and a bit of bad management on part of Sledgehammer as well. I want to make the video, show you guys all that. Hopefully you guys all know, and hopefully you guys all found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And thank you to all of you guys out there who are always informing me and updating me as to the things that are happening on the Xbox 360 and on the PlayStation 3. You guys are great. Anytime some kind of news happens, you guys are always the first to let me know. And it's great that you guys are always letting me know. Every single day I get someone else saying, hey, Nero, that update still isn't out on the Xbox 360. Or, hey, Nero, that stuff is still not out on the PlayStation 3. It doesn't make any sense. So it's great that you guys are always letting me know about that. We have a nice little community here, and I definitely love that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.